Hey guys, if you've been kind of keeping up with the channel, you know I'm pretty far behind on what we're currently up to. So I wanted to use this episode to get you caught up a bit. The last real update we had on what we were currently doing was when we, back in episode 15, when we got back to Oklahoma. That was in May, and it's July now, so obviously quite a bit has happened since then. So here's a quick look at what we've been doing in all that time. We spent about a week and a half in Oklahoma taking care of some personal business, visiting family and friends. And we hit the road to head back to Salt Lake City to get our trailer. We got to Salt Lake City and we stayed at our sister-in-law Trisha's house with her and Ross for a couple of days. And we were thinking we might stay there for maybe a month, hang around the Salt Lake area, but we couldn't find an RV park in a good location that we liked, so we decided to move along. Our plan was to get back to Washington in July, and so we had, this is early June, I believe, so we had a little while before we needed to get there. We weren't real sure what we were going to do. We went ahead and started heading west though. We drove to Mountain Home, Idaho, where we had stayed on the way out of Seattle. Stayed at the same RV park for a few days. And then we moved along to Pendleton, Oregon, again at the same RV park where we had stayed on the way out. And we stayed there for a couple of days and started thinking about what we wanted to do. And Peggy said she thought it would be fun to explore the coast of Oregon, heading up to Washington. So we, while we were in Pendleton, we started kind of looking at what the options in Oregon were. And we found Rockaway Beach, which is a 7-mile long beach on the northern coast. And we thought that sounded pretty good, so we started driving that direction. We stayed just outside of Portland a night and then tried to book someplace on the coast. They're kind of hard to book at this time because it's summer and the tourist season's starting up. But we ended up finding a place in Netarts Bay, a little small sea town on the coast, just 5 miles from Tillamook, which is a small city. We booked it for a week and it was really nice. We had a beach about 2 miles up the road that was just beautiful. So after a week we booked another week. Thought we'll stay here 2 weeks and go to Seattle. And then we started trying to find a place in Seattle and we're having a hard time. So we went ahead and stayed one more week in Netarts. So we ended up being there for 3 weeks and just loved it. It was beautiful, some great beaches nearby, and we really had fun. Anyway, it was time to move on to Seattle, so we tried to book a place and we could not. This was coming up on the 4th of July weekend. We could not find anything in Seattle. We ended up getting a place on the Olympic Peninsula about 15 minutes from the ferry that would take us over to Seattle, so it really wasn't too hard to get there. It's been a nice little place. We've enjoyed it. We got one more week here, and then we did manage to book a week at the resort where we stayed in Seattle last time. And then after that, we think we're going to go back to Oklahoma for a month or so to visit with our daughter and granddaughter, son-in-law there. Anyway, that's kind of what the plan is. In the meantime, I've thrown together a little montage of the time between leaving Oklahoma and now, and it's pretty short. Watch that if you want, get entertained a little bit, and stay tuned. We'll have much more coming. We're leaving Oklahoma. We actually left about an hour and a half ago. Oklahoma City. We're bearing down on Kansas pretty hard. Salt Lake City this morning. Kind of rainy, chilly day. We're driving to Mountain Home, Idaho. We're going to stay there a couple of days. Take it from there. Mountain Home, Idaho. We got here yesterday. It's Wednesday evening. We decided we're going to stay until Saturday. We are on our way back to Pendleton. We're going to stay at the Wild Horse Casino Resort again. Spend a couple of days there. Tomorrow's Peggy's birthday, so we're not going to drive tomorrow.